Imagine walking home after work on a cold, rainy night. The streets are almost empty. The only sound is the wind whistling through dark alleyways. Suddenly, footsteps echo behind you. You turn around, but no one is there. A few moments later, everything goes silent. Across northern England during the late 1970s, thousands of women lived with exactly this fear. Every night, families prayed their daughters, sisters, wives, and friends would make it home safely. Police warned women not to walk alone, businesses closed early, and entire neighborhoods were trapped in panic. Somewhere in the darkness, a killer was hunting. He struck without warning, vanished without leaving clear evidence, and stayed one step ahead of one of the largest murder investigations in British history. For 5 terrifying years, he murdered innocent women while police desperately searched for a face they couldn't find. His name was Peter Sutcliffe. But the world would remember him by another name. The Yorkshire Ripper ***. This is the chilling true story of one of Britain's most infamous serial killers. Britain before the nightmare ***. The mid-1970s were difficult years in Britain. Economic problems, unemployment, and social unrest affected many communities across the country. Cities in northern England, especially Yorkshire, were filled with factories, industrial neighbourhoods, and working-class families trying to build ordinary lives. Leeds, Bradford, Manchester, and nearby towns looked peaceful during the day. Children played outside, shops were busy, and people went to work as usual. But after sunset, everything changed. Women became increasingly cautious about walking alone. Taxi drivers noticed passengers becoming nervous. Friends insisted on walking each other home. At first, no one realized these fears would soon become reality. Because somewhere in Yorkshire, an ordinary-looking man was beginning a double life that would shock an entire nation. An ordinary man with a dark secret ***. Peter William Sutcliffe was born on June 2, 1946, in Bingley, West Yorkshire. To neighbors, co-workers, and even many relatives, he appeared quiet, polite, and hard-working. He later worked as a truck driver, a job that allowed him to travel across northern England at all hours of the day and night. Nothing about his appearance suggested he would become one of Britain's most feared criminals. He wasn't famous. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't someone who attracted attention. That ordinary image would become one of his greatest advantages. As police searched for a dangerous killer, countless people unknowingly crossed paths with him every day. No one imagined the man standing beside them at a petrol station or driving past in a truck could be responsible for unimaginable violence. The first murder ***. On October 30, 1975, 28-year-old Wilma McCann was found brutally murdered in Leeds. She had suffered devastating injuries, leaving investigators shocked by the level of violence. Police immediately launched a murder investigation. At first, detectives believed this could be an isolated attack. Sadly, they were wrong. Months later, another woman was attacked. Then another. A terrifying pattern slowly began to emerge. The victims were often attacked at night. The killer struck quickly, then disappeared before anyone could stop him. With every new crime scene, fear spread further across Yorkshire. Fear spreads across northern England ***. As newspapers reported each new attack, public anxiety exploded. Women changed their daily routines. Some refused to leave home after dark. Universities advised female students not to walk alone. Employers arranged transportation for workers finishing late shifts. Parents waited anxiously for daughters returning home. Taxi companies became busier than ever. People began locking doors earlier than before. The fear wasn't limited to one city. It spread across Yorkshire and beyond. Everyone asked the same question. Who was the killer? Unfortunately, no one had the answer. Police face an invisible enemy. Detectives created one of the largest murder investigations Britain had ever seen. Thousands of interviews were conducted. Vehicles were checked. Homes were searched. Potential suspects were questioned. Every new clue seemed promising. Yet every lead eventually ended in disappointment. The killer left behind very little useful evidence. Without modern DNA technology, investigators depended heavily on eyewitness accounts, physical evidence, and public tips. Unfortunately, many of those tips pointed in completely different directions. Instead of getting closer to the truth, the investigation became larger and more confusing. Panic turns into national news. By the late 1970s, newspapers across Britain covered the murders almost every day. Television news warned viewers about the unknown killer. The public gave him a terrifying nickname inspired by London's infamous Jack the Ripper. The Yorkshire Ripper. The name quickly spread across the country. With every headline, the mystery grew larger. People wanted answers. Families demanded justice. Police faced enormous pressure to catch the killer before another innocent life was taken. But the man responsible remained hidden in plain sight. Every day he continued living what appeared to be a completely ordinary life.